Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside the studio. Chad Rosema here to host the action on this Thursday night as we get into the month of October. Randy, it's the final quarter of the year already, but it's an exciting quarter because normally at this time we're obviously pumped up for everything in the provincial program to wrap up. We know super finals are just around the corner, but obviously the added incentive this year is that we've got the Breeders' Crown to get excited for. So October is going to be jam-packed with action.
Yeah, and then what? The super finals come in November, right?
No, super finals are next weekend.
Oh, you're kidding?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had my dates mixed up.
I
thought it was Breeders' Crown and then the
No.
super finals.
No. So we go. The 2-year-olds will go on the Friday.
Mm-hmm.
They do that because the 2-year-old eliminations for the Breeders' Crown are a week after that, and then the 3-year-olds will go on Saturday. So next weekend we've got great action Friday, Saturday, and then the next 2 weekends after that, Breeders' Crown elims and finals.
Well, we're jam-packed.
We are.
Yeah,
and if we can get a little more of this weather.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, Saturday they're calling for 26 degrees again.
Really?
Sunny. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
nice.
you know yourself, these horses, they're probably a bit confused.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
There are
probably
a couple of
a
cool
little bit.
days, but then all of a sudden it feels like you're in July again.
Yeah. And the leaves are all turning. They're waiting
Yes.
for the cold stuff to come, but so far it's
They're
not.
wondering where their coat is,
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, it's anyways.
We've had a lucky year for weather.
We have.
We have. It's been a good year.
Yeah.
Not too hot, not too cold, not too wet, not too dry. Just kind of a nice year.
It's been good. I'll tell you, it's been hot. McNair, McClure. Yeah, especially this
something-
week in the Golds.
There's something about that M. They're really doing a number on people, and unfortunately for
continue
me,
tonight.
I was born with the upside down M.
Yeah?
You
Yeah,
know,
how'd
I
that
never,
serve you?
Never
I think it
had
served
those
you all
kinds
right.
never had those kinds
Yeah, I
of nights.
think
You
it
know what I
served-
mean?
Oh, yeah.
But right now, it seems like if you want to do some good, you got to dine at the Golden Arches. That's the way I look at it.
don't mind going there.
Anytime you see that big M, and like you said, the night of McNair, the night of McClure, and normally, who are we dealing with multiple wins a night? The night of McDonald. That M's a powerful, powerful symbol right now.
We all love the Golden Arches, right?
right.
Especially when I got an anniversary dinner to pay for. When those monthly
this is it.
coupons come in.
Yeah, value meal.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, the 2 for 1. But yeah, so Monday we know with the Golds, Dougie won 3 of the 4. McClure won the other one that he didn't win. Well, then McClure carries that over. And he's having a big year, not just in general, but in the provincial program. Back on top in the Lampman Cup. But here's the recap of the Golds. He ended up being your star of the card, and rightfully so. And, I mean, to me, he didn't have to stress in any of these wins either.
No.
They were all easy winners.
Yeah, he's just driving absolutely great right now. But they were all 3 live horses. But he's driving amazingly good right now. Not that he's not usually amazingly good, but he's really on his game right now. Everything to me is in the exact proper position where it's supposed to be, and that's even when he's picking up drives that he doesn't normally drive. He's still putting them in the exact right spot.
Well, you just make the right decisions.
And he's confident.
Yes, exactly. Even this one here. So, he had said that Stormont Beautiful, she can leave out of there, and he initially planned on leaving a bit more, but he could tell that they were jetting out. And again, it just worked out so perfectly. They went so quick early on, and he was able to just feast on them.
Yeah, no, and look at her right now. Something we were talking a little bit about it there the other night there, Chad. I'm not 100% sure if the Elegant Image didn't break her loose. I don't know why it would, you know what I mean? She can't read the program. She didn't know the horses that she was facing. But boy, since that Elegant Image, I just find that she's really become a different horse.
Okay, and then the final one, Bojangles remains undefeated, and 9 for 9, just another easy score, home in 26 and change, 50 and 2. Just very, very impressive, for the son of Cattle Wash. He's just been so much fun to watch, and he became Racing's newest millionaire with this latest win. He's now in the neighborhood of like $1,050,000.
That doesn't happen very often with a 2-year-old,
No.
especially with only that many starts, And
he's still got 2 big possible paydays coming up.
Yeah, and the big thing is he did most of it in the provincial program. So, how dominant has he been to have $1 million on his card? And he's still, like you said, he still has some kind of big dances left to go.
Yeah, the super final go for $300, so you still have that. But you talk about the money they can make well, obviously, as we know, the provincial program here, strong, one of the best around, right? And
But if he goes to Breeders' Crown.
yeah, I mean, obviously that's the plan, for Doc Moore and the connections, so I'm not sure exactly what that final goes for, but I'm thinking in the neighborhood of 600 US.
Yeah, probably.
Right?
I think his biggest, I'm not saying that, that he's his biggest competition, because right now I'm not 100% sure if anybody is Bojangles' competition, but Frantic Hanover raced well against him, and I see he's back in to go Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, I think it's Saturday for the 2-year-old Colt Pacers. Yeah. He'll be fun to watch.
International Stallion Stake or something like that.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, but he'll be interesting to see if he can kind of,
how does he respond after his first loss? And reports were he actually scoped sick.
Right, he wasn't 100%
too.
healthy, So it'll be interesting to see how he comes back.
Yeah, and I'm sure we're looking forward to seeing the rematch again between that
very much
in a couple of weeks' time. So some exciting things to look forward to, that's for sure. Tonight, as we look at the card, we will wrap up now the OSS preliminaries. Leg 5 is going to wrap it all up for the season ahead of the Super Finals, of course. Thrill Pacing fillies, Chantilly trying to kind of right the ship.
We left 2 real good ones.
Not that she's really wronged the ship, but trying to get
she's
them back.
Trying to right the ship.
We just expect her to win every time, but she's had some issues.
I think everybody kind of expects her to win, especially in here. You know what I mean? I think it's one thing to get beat in the Grand Circuit, but when she got beat in the provincial program, that's a warning. That's a warning bell.
It's been a challenge this year for Nick Gallucci.
It has been.
With things that have risen and that
trying to get ahead of it.
Take care of. Exactly. So we've got that one, and then the Thrill Pacing Colts and Geldings, and you already talked about it with the OSS this week, brought to you by the letter M with McNair, McClure, and could continue with McDonald, because obviously he's got 2 big live ones in the morning line favorites in both of those divisions.
He does. He could sweep.
Yep,
no doubt about it. I mean, it's just like I said, it just seems to be that if you got that initial on the sleeve of your suit, you're doing really good right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to dive in. We've got plenty to cover. Randy's got a lot of replays sent in here. We're going to start the coverage here in race number 1, 2-year-old filly trotters, nominators of under 8,000 lifetime. Wild Rose Hanover. A judge's transportation scratch. Did your brother forget to fill the truck up?
Oh, that would be it. That would be it. Yeah, exactly.
Gas was a little too high, and he said, nah.
Yeah, exactly. Nah, maybe tomorrow.
Maybe. Yeah,
Sheila turned the pump off. Maybe tomorrow.
Unfortunately, she's not going to be here because I think this one's showing some improvement.
I had her down in on the bottom. I agree with you. I think she's getting liver, each time. So, going to get us down to a field of 9 in here. Still, we got a nice little group in here. I think a lot of people are going to be looking at this 5-horse White Blonde Hanover. Obviously, daughter of Captain Corey, first thing, but that 27 flat in that first race, that's going to be a lot of people are going to take some serious looks at that. I got her in for 3rd. Where I'm going to go is I'm going to go right back to the 9-horse Mass Bar. We're going to show you the qualifier of hers. Now, this is the first time that she adds the trotting hobbles, and she comes up with a really, really nice effort. Also, a last quarter in 27-4 in this qualifier. And it looked like she was going to take a lot of action. She wasn't the favorite in that tilt off the qualifier, but she was going to take a lot of action off of that, and she ends up making a break coming out of the gate with the hobbles on. I'm going to go back to her. I really liked her in this effort. I don't think that she was much of a problem. I think that maybe you can see here on this qualifier, the hobbles to me look like they're a little bit on the tight side. I wouldn't be surprised if, because she stayed at it, maybe they opened them up a little bit for that first race. She got up behind the gate, got doubled up, and all of a sudden they realized maybe they're a bit too long. That's just what I'm thinking. So I'm going to go back to her, hoping that she behaves herself in here tonight and can get out of there. And then she gets out of there and gets in front, she could be a little bit tough to track down, because that was 57. She does go make a break in the next one. I got a feeling they've probably got a training mile into her with the hobbles again, readjusted. So I think she's going to be good to go in here tonight.
What about Peter Shoddy's Night Stalkers games? I mean, coming back here, I know she had to chase some speed in Lexington, but that's obviously a very fast strip. But then you come here and you get Rhonda May-Kay, who was just lit up in 54 and change in that first start back.
Yeah, no, she could be good in here. It's going to be like 3 weeks, right? Because she missed the September the 14th race due to sickness. So it's going to be, September the 1st in Lexington was her last start, and then September the 22nd up here. So basically 3 weeks. I thought it was an okay effort. She did need it. I thought it was an okay effort, but you know something? I'm going to take a wait and see because of the rail.
Yeah.
Simple as that. You know, I don't know just exactly how she's going to deal with our rail up here. It's completely different as opposed to a rail on a mile track. So I want to see how she deals with it.
Yeah, and I know you're hopeful that this price is going to stay at 20 to 1.
I
don't think it's going to be, but 20 to 1 right now. The offering on Massbar is looking to bounce back with that trotting hobbles again, looking more like she did in the qualifier than she did in that first race. Okay, we're going to move on. Race number 2 we'll skip over. We're going to head over to the third race. This is the kickoff to the early pick 4 wager. We've got a group of 7 in this spot here. 2-year-old Colt and Gelding Pacers and PA Salt. Here from post position 6 is going to be a first-time starter for Greg McNair and company. And based on the qualifiers, you can see that this colt can sprint home. Especially look at the one at Grand River, because Grand River, I find you don't. To put up a real fast final quarter, you got to be doing something really good there, because it's a short stretch, and that turn comes up, and then you don't have much stretch after that. But that's a pretty good looking final quarter there.
Yeah, really nice looking quarter. I mean, and the last qualifier too is going to be a doozy too. But I'm putting PA Salt in for second.
Okay.
We got 2 qualifiers to show here. We're going to show Letter Sink Sun. This is going to be my top pick in here. So let's roll this one, Ryan. This guy had the 8 hole in his last start, got away dead last. Only had a couple of starts to work with. So far had a win at Grand River in 55, and then the third that we're going to see here tonight. And I thought that this was a really, really nice effort. Now, Lunar Sport has been racing pretty good. Good form right now. Captain Crave also really starting to throw it down. We're going to see him a little bit in here later tonight. I'm not using him, but boy, is he ever sneaky good right now for Rhonda Markle. But Letter Sink Sun, good race here, I think, for Team Boyd Wilson and Travis Henry. Good movement on the end of it. You can see this guy starting to come into your picture now, and here he comes up the inside. And like I said, I thought really, really good movement on the end of it. Big, strong kind of a horse too. So I'm going to go with him up here in front. I'm thinking that maybe they might be able to get him away a little bit closer. He's not going to have as much ground to make up, and that was a good last quarter, 27-1. So he's going to be my top pick. Now let's take a replay. Let's take a look at the qualifier of PA Salt. Now, as we look at PA Salt, the horse that's on his back is the 7 horse in here, Scorpion Sealster. They're qualifying together. This is an interesting little match. So you're going to see Dougie with PA Salt, and on his back is Jody with Scorpion Sealster. Now, this is what? The Bulldog Hanover brother to
Stockade,
Sorsha,
right?
and Stockade and blah, blah, blah. So watch these 2 horses. Now, I find this very interesting there, because in my opinion, I kind of think that Dougie's horse was a little bit better, but I think Jody's horse is more powerful. So really interesting little movement here between these 2. Again, Jody, neither one of them really chasing, but there's just something about the one of Jody's that I find there's a lot of power under the hood. So I'm going to go PA Salt on the Scorpion Sealster, and then in on the bottom, I'm going to throw Blue 10 Squared. But Letter Sink Sun is going to be my top pick in here. Not really sure just how hard they're going to want to be on these 2-year-olds, with the outside post. Maybe they might want to give them a bit of an easy trip, and it's only a 7-horse field, so not 100% sure what they're going to do with them. PA Salt hasn't left the gate yet big time, but Jody's Charge has left out of there before. Yep. So interesting in here, but I do think that the 3-horse, if he can get into a good spot, I think he's got the wheels that he might be able to track these 2 speedsters down.
Well, he's already going to get off to a better start than he did in the debut from an outside draw against obviously a bigger field. But as you pointed out, he looked like a pretty big horse, right? And that straightaway probably suits him. Maybe not the turn so much just yet, because he looked like he was covering ground rather easily, but that looks like a big stride.
Yeah. And you know something there, like, I mean, you know, like we have talked so much this year about cattle wash, which we should.
Yeah.
But you know something, the last couple of years, this big Jim has really flew under the radar with some really, really nice horses, you know? And I think you're even starting to see it on the mares' end when they become brood mares. I don't mind anything that comes out of a big Jim mare. I really do think that this is a deep, deep sire. And somehow or another, we've kind of like lost track of him a little bit. And hopefully within the next couple of years, a couple more pop out and they start to take note of him.
He's reliable.
He's
Isn't that what he
really
is?
reliable, and he's tough. He sends toughness out there, you know. Really, really nice horses.
All right, that's the third race. To kick off the early pick 4, over to race number 4, pick 6 is going to get underway here with this 2-year-old Colton Gelding trot. Nominators of 1 bunch in here. We've got a field of 9, more first-time starters. And this isn't uncommon. You know, obviously some of these 2-year-olds, you have the hope that they're going to be ready come June,
Some of them
July.
aren't.
And some aren't. And, you know, it doesn't mean we can't have some kind of a world champion that's just debuting now, could even start to go into some fall series, whatever it may be, get a couple of starts and then shut down and focus in on a 3-year-old campaign. But Captain Nathan is going to be a first-time starter from that white-hot first crop of Captain Corey. That was a good-looking qualifier.
It was a very nice-looking
You know?
qualifier.
Yeah, I would say
absolutely.
that Jess and Ed were probably excited to get this guy to the track.
I would have to think. Okay, here we go, Chad. My top pick is going to be the 1 horse in here, 4th Gear. That's where I'm going to go.
Okay.
Now, before we talk about Captain Nathan, just hear me out on 4th Gear. Okay, look at his lines, Chad. You know what I mean? Like, his bottom lines there. There's just really not a whole lot there, right? But then he misses a month. And then look at the last line that he comes up. Where did that come out of the blue? Where did that line come up out of after missing a month? So I don't really know just exactly where he's going to be at, but I like any horse that can make that big of an improvement. And why did he have the month off to begin with? McEnany's barn's been racing good, picks up James McDonald. So 4th Gear, looking for a little bit of a price in here, 6-1 morning line. That's the route that I'm going to go. But let's take a look at the replay of the qualifier of Captain Nathan, because this is a really, really good replay. And as you're going to see, September the 12th, this guy was entered into go last, what day did we cancel?
Tuesday, wasn't it?
Tuesday. He was entered into go, you know, we got canceled because of the lightning storm.
Yeah.
So don't look at it as a stale date that something went amiss. I just think that, you know, he missed that day and now he's back into go. And here's Captain Nathan with Scotty Young. And I mean, look at the body language on Scotty. I mean, he is just sitting there and absolutely loving what's going on right now. I mean, he hasn't given that horse so much as 1/4 of an inch of line. You know what I mean? That horse is doing everything on his own. So I think that this could be a really big effort for Captain Nathan. But I'm not 100% sure how deep they're going to want to race him. You know what I mean? Just the 1 qualifier to deal with. Are they really just going to want to go for it in here tonight? And if they don't go for it, if they don't leave out of there, he could get himself into a little bit of a bad positioning and that. And then, you know, if they don't go enough early, you know, maybe because he's only had the 1 qualifier, he's not going to have the wheels to reach. Either way, I'm going to put him in for 2nd, but I'm going to take a chance with 4th Gear, just hoping that maybe Captain Nathan's going to need one. Doesn't really look like it, but I'm kind of hoping that he is.
Yeah, the Roger Mayotte pupil, Go Roscoe.
Really starting to come around.
I mean, it's a ground-saving trip in the latest, but he was moving well, and it was, you know, typical Roger, bringing them along slowly and teaching them, and he was moving well on the end of that mile. I know there were some breakers, but as you know, a 2-year-old trotter can make some decent money if he can just mind his manners, and I'm just curious to see this guy's progression here tonight. Can he take another step forward?
I wouldn't be surprised, and the other thing, too, typical Roger, he's gorgeous.
Yeah.
One of the most beautiful-looking individuals you're going to see. So I've been watching for a bit, waiting
He's
to
another
pull
one might have been entered on that same cancellation
I think he
night.
was.
Yeah,
I think
I
he
thought I
was.
remember seeing Roger go out to warm him up.
I think he was, yeah. I think there was a few of them in here that were due on that day. But, yeah, that's the way I'm going to go. And Go Roscoe, I got him down as a +1.
Okay.
I think rate getting
What does that mean
close.
again?
Means that I
One-
think
one
maybe
more?
one more start, and then I'm going to pull the trigger.
All right. I knew I'd figure that out.
There you go.
Yeah. Cracked Waples
Exactly.
code.
Yeah, there
All right,
you
we're
go.
going to skip over 5 and 6. 6 race, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, kicks off the late pick 5. We got a couple of co-featured events, $140,000 OSS Gold Legs. 3-year pacing fillies are up first. It's the return of Chantilly. And I wonder what's going through her mind, because she's obviously not used to losing. She's in a bit of a rut right now. There's been some excuses for that. We know that she's been dealing with some issues. It hasn't been, the smoothest of years for her. And despite that, she still has a lot of victories. But she's come back with a couple of qualifiers, and Nick. Nick's not going to have her race here unless he knows that she's good.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. And now she's back in to go off of the 2 qualifiers. So that to me would signify that, she's good. Now, is she at 100%? How can she be? She's missed some time. She's been kind of behind the 8 ball. But even if she comes in here at 80 or 85%, I still say that that's good enough if she gets the right trip. Now, that's where I'm going to go next on this one. I'm really, really hoping that they take the risk and just race her the way that they did when the poop hit the fan back where they raced. Yes.
Off the pace?
Not necessarily does he have to run her up the inside, but I really, really hoping that he just moves her to the back, stays out of everybody's way, maybe get lucky and land on McClure's back, and then just bring her into the race a little bit later on. Okay. I think that there's a better chance that she'll start to improve that way. So let's take a look at the last replay on Chantilly. And, Louis Waugh getting a chance to sit up behind this girl for probably, I think this would be the first time probably
I think it's the first time that anybody other than James.
Really?
I think.
Wow.
I think I would have to look back.
Seems Nick lost my number. But anyway.
Yeah.
She looks good in here, but I don't think that Louis come out of it thinking to himself like, this is probably the best 3-year-old pacing filly that I've ever drove. You know what I mean? But I do think she's good. He keeps kind of like looking down, and the shoulders are back, but I wouldn't say that the lines are overly tight. Now she's given the ear pin there pretty good, but I still think that if she comes in here at 80%, I think that she can take them down. And it's nothing against, Perfectly Chic or Out of This World Deo or Wicked Pace or Eternal Delight or whoever's in against her. It's nothing against them. It's just that I think that she is a really deep kind of a horse. And I think that these horses have to be at 115% to beat her when she's at 100. So it only stands to make sense that if she's not at 100%, then there's a pretty good chance that, they're not going to be able to beat her anyway. So this is the way I'm going to go. Chantilly onto Perfectly Chic. I don't believe that this is the end of Chantilly. I don't believe that she's in such bad shape right now that she's not going to have a good effort in here tonight, because I don't believe that they would put her into go if they had any suspicions whatsoever that she was going to come up with a clunker.
Yeah, no, I agree with that phrase there. Now, the other 6 drivers, do you think for some of them the mindset in here is different than the other golds? That given the light of the recent happenings with Chantilly and her being missing some time, is their approach maybe changing to say, you know what, I'm not afraid to attack her?
Should be. It should be that way.
Like before, whether they'd admit it or not, you got to think some of them are thinking, okay, I'm going to do what I can to make sure that I'm in a spot so I can try and be second. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Smell blood in the water, why not attack?
Yeah.
That's the way I would look at it. If you're going to attack, why not do it now? If she goes up there and reams off a 1:49 tonight, there's no chance that you're going to go on the offensive, for the rest of the campaign. Mm-hmm. So why not take a chance tonight? No one. She's a bit of a question mark, but I got big faith in her, and I just think that even if she's not at her best, I still think that she can beat this. But the biggest thing that I'm just hoping is that he doesn't come out of there with her. You know what I mean? I really, really do think that she needs to come off the pace a couple of times. It's nothing, nefarious or anything like that. I just think that horses are better when they're confident. And even if she doesn't win coming from off the pace, she's going to pass a few. And that's what she needs
Well, and
to
I
do.
think Nick wants just a solid effort from her. I mean, he'd
Passing
love
horses.
a win, but yes, he wants
that's
that.
all.
He wants
Build.
her to say,
Build.
I'm back.
Yeah.
especially knowing she's got the $300,000 super final a week from Saturday.
And potentially the Breeders' Crown after
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So that's what I mean.
And a rematch with
build on
guess
this.
who?
Build
Nikki
on
Minnie.
it. Don't go to the front. Don't let her get tired out. Don't know where you're at because you're racing her the exact same way. What's that old saying? The definition of
is this the Einstein thing, or
what
is
is
that what
it?
it is? Definition of insanity,
Right.
Is trying the same thing
Over
over
and
and over,
over.
expecting a different result.
Yeah,
something like
exactly.
that.
Looking
Yeah.
for a different result. Why not change it up? I mean, really, Chad, when you look down her page, one of the best miles that she went was that race where she was locked in. She got beat a length. She paced the last quarter in 26-1. Then we're going to the front all the time. And I just kind of hope that they go the other way, and see what happens,
All right. Well, let's move on. Race number
Okay.
8 we go. Let's go back to some 2-year-olds.
This is
Colton
it.
Gelding Pacers, nominators of 1 in here. The Casey Coleman part-owned over bet, got some attention in the debut, but what did you see in that race with him?
I just kind of found that he just seemed like he was just kind of a horse that, wasn't confident in his gait and, just like a horse that was kind of learning, but he's a bettor's delight. So, I mean, even though it says Casey Coleman on the ownership papers, it doesn't mean that he's going to come out firing right away. You know what I mean? So I'm going to throw him in for second. I think there's some talent there, but I'm not putting him in the win candidate.
How was the
just as of
qualifier
yet.
coming back?
Qualifier was okay, but it's the same sort of thing. He just seems to me like a horse that's kind of not overly confident. James, he never does more than he has to, with this guy. And actually, this is the qualifier that I think that we we didn't show this show this one. I think it's maybe later on tonight we're showing that qualifier. But anyway, it was okay. But again, nothing that I'm going to just jump up and throw him up on top. Got him in for second. I'm going to go to the 2-horse in here. I love this bar. I think that this horse raced incredibly well in his last start. Only had the 1 start to work with. But let's take a look at this replay on I Love This Bar coming out of the Kevin Ben stable. Trevor Henry going with him, and Trevor Henry back in go with this guy tonight. Had the 9-hole last week, Chad, and this is another one. 27 flat on the end of it for this bird. So let's take a look. There's Trevor 2 wide with this guy on the outside. He's going to have to take a lot of ground, and at this point, you could even say that he's out, maybe 3-4 wide with this guy. And here's where Trevor starts to apply the pressure onto him. Right in through here, he says to himself, okay, let's go, big fella. Little tap there, and we'll see if he has any answers to it. Oh, he's got an answer, and there's another tap. He knows that this guy's racing really, really good, cooking hard on the end of it. I love the way that he came into this race, so he's going to be my top pick in here. But this is an interesting race, Chad, because there's a lot of horses in here. I think you could go different ways. We've got a horse coming up, first time Maneri coming up from Lexington. I got him in for third.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a new purchase too. I wonder if Tom Pollock bought this one, because I'm not sure Joe Holloway trains for him.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Not 100% sure. All the right places. I think he came up with a good one in his last. And this is this 4-horse here for Brenda Lane, this Captain Crave.
Yep.
Each week to me seems like he gets a little bit better. And I can honestly tell you, even though I didn't use him in my top 4 in this race, I did throw him in my late pick 5 because I think that this guy could get the job done, and if he does, it's going to be at a price.
Well, for the Heston Blue Chip rookie, you're going to be able to get a reference early on because that 3rd place finisher that you're liking as well, right? Let Her Sing Son. If that one races well, then you get an even better reference here to I Love This Bar in race number 8. Okay, that's the 8th. Let's go to the other feature event, race number 9, OSS Gold Leg 5 for the Thrill Pacing Colts and Geldings. Last chance to, get built up for that super final coming up a week from Saturday. Now, I would say for the Thrill Pacing Fillies and Thrill Pacing Colts, I'm not sure there's going to be more than 10 that drop in the box. I wouldn't be surprised if those are 2 of the divisions that happen to be shorter, where there's an opportunity maybe for the grassroots champion to go in, into that. Time passer off of what he just did. I could see that. As for the filly, I forget who the filly was that won the Thrill Pace.
It was a good effort.
That was Macapella Sealster's race.
That was
right?
what, McNair night?
No, this was last Saturday, right? We had the championships.
JR win too. Didn't he win the 3-year-old Pacing filly, JR Plum?
Well, maybe. Did he win both those?
I thought
I know he won the Colts.
He won the Colt, but I thought maybe he won the filly too.
Anyways.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got Crackshot and All-Star Maniac. They're going to meet up again. Some others into here. 5th and 5 is, we know he was grassroots and well, he was gold and grassroots, and then, back into the gold. He obviously fits in here as well. Where'd you go?
I went Crackshot. And, All-Star Maniac, I think that he's kind of got the mojo going right now. He's going to be tough to take down in this race, but hasn't raced since August the 30th. 5th and 5, I got him in for 3rd. I've said all along, this guy is so close to being a gold, and maybe he's going to be the gold tonight. He did win 1-2 down. Up till then, he'd been doing a lot of racing in the grassroots, but he always showed that he was so dominant in the grassroots. You knew that when he got a chance at the golds, there was a pretty good chance he was going to get the job done, and he did. Fortunately for him, though, I don't think he had to face All-Star Maniac, and I don't think he had to face Crackshot either. So that maybe is going to play into his hands a little bit in here. Crackshot is the way that I'm going to go, simply because he's got that qualifier, and we're going to take a look at that qualifier now. Like I said, 5th and 5, September the 6th, All-Star Maniac, August the 30th. Now, Boxer Sealster, another McEnany horse that came up with a huge effort in his last. I'm going to throw him in for 4th, and he hadn't raced in 2 weeks up till that September the 20th. But let's take a look at Crackshot in this race. And like I said, I think he was a good effort in here. This is Control Rocks in on his back. And, I'm not saying that he is Crackshot, but he's a pretty good horse himself. And at no point, even if Tyler's starting to chase here, now Dougie's starting to move away from him. So to me, that is a really good reference point that Crackshot is tight and ready to go, and he's going to be my top pick in race number 9, my friend.
Simply the best. You're right. It was Plant.
Okay, simply
for
the best.
Thrilled
there
filly.
you go.
Yeah,
and
so
she
Thrilled
was
Filly and
simply the
Thrilled Gold.
best.
Yeah. So I mean, a possibility again if you were to try and predict which divisions could have less than 10 drop in the box.
Yeah.
It could be those.
And I think, too, that with Simply the Best, a lot of it's going to come down to what does Chantilly do tonight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
if she rips the
know.
bridle off him tonight, you might be like,
yeah, mine's just starting to get better,
Yeah,
and now
yeah.
I got to race against that creature.
Yeah.
Big
All right.
question mark for her, but I'm really looking forward to those 2 golds tonight.
Yeah, I don't mind Garnet going Boxer Sealster in
think
this
it's a
spot
great
here
play.
because, again, last year we looked at him as one of the top ones early
Mm-hmm.
on. Yes, it was a struggle for him this year, whatever it may be. He was training down well in Florida, but now he's got the win under his belt. And as you know, he's going to have some confidence now.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I mean, and that's the whole
Might be
thing
just
with
coming
him.
around.
Yeah, and I mean, you're going after when Crackshot hasn't raced, for a bit. All-Star Maniac hasn't raced for a bit. Boxer Sealster, September the 20th. You're getting a tight fit horse ready to go, and to me, that was probably his best race of the year. His last one. So maybe he's starting to build on something.
Okay, race number 10, Randy will talk about throughout the night, but it is a fresh start, by the way, to the high five. 35,000 plus ended up being the payout for somebody. So congrats to whoever ended up getting that winning ticket on Tuesday. So we have a fresh start, and Randy Waples, he's gone to the John Rallis School of Ticket Structure, and he's got himself a trio of singles in the early pick 5. Take us through it.
This is it. So Mass Bar, looking for her to come back with a big rebound. In race number 2, I'm singling Hungry Hill. I really do think that if he's even close to on his game, I think that he will annihilate these ones. And this is another one. I'm really hoping that Tyler does nothing with him the first half. Just keep him close and let him come into it. Race number 3. Here comes the hurt. So I'm going to go 3, 5, 6, and 7 in this race. Race number 4 deep again with the 1, 2, 3, and 5 in there, and then back to a single. And that's going to be Kama, a horse that I do think is maybe sitting on a big effort for Chris Rogers and Tyler Jones. Tyler Jones, according to me, could potentially have himself a couple of wins tonight.
Okay. All right. Kevin Ploch's thoughts. He's got just one single. His is going to come in the 4th race where he's all in on that first-time starter, Captain Nathan. He's got some coverage in some of the other legs as well, but not terribly deep, so all the best to Kevin. We'll have his thoughts as well. And then we've got some late pick 5 tickets, and there you go again. Yeah, this looks very similar to the first one.
Pretty well, except for I didn't go quite as deep on the coverage, but yeah, a lot of singles. So Flight Crew, I think that she's fairly logical. If she shows up, Chad, how are they going to beat her in an 8,000 claimer?
Yeah,
and
race the pop-up.
Right, race 7, I'm going to ride with Chantilly. And then race 8, I'm going to go I Love This Bar. We Got History, and then that Captain Crave horse. You know, I'm throwing him in as a part of it. I think that this horse is kind of dangerous. Race 9, I'm going to go Crackshot and All Star Maniac, and then in race number 1, I'm going to single He's Swift off that huge mile at Flamborough just a few days ago.
Yeah, producer Ryan, do we have a driver yet on He's Swift or still TBA at this point? Okay, so it's still TBA, so you don't know who's going to drive yet, but you do know that he's coming in off of a win.
Big win.
At Flamborough Downs. Kevin Plaucha's thoughts. He's got singles as well.
Look at that. Yeah.
In the late pick 5.
That's a skinny ticket. What, $4?
Yeah, so where you go all in on Flight Crew, he's all in on Del Diggity, who Doug McNair, I know last time it didn't work out, but he's got a great track record driving this mare, and now going to Malik Smith.
Yeah, absolutely, and she's coming in here with good wins.
Malik might have had her before.
I think he did. Yeah, I did. I think she's been passed around a few times, old Del Diggity.
Okay. All right. So that's a look at some pick 5 thoughts, courtesy of Randy and Kevin. As far as stakes action, we know it's a big week, obviously, in Kentucky. It was a huge week with the announcement of the Breeders' Crown coming there in a couple of years. What will the Breeders' Crown be like there? I mean, you've driven there. What will it be like being hosted there?
Oh, great, as long as you get the good weather.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You don't want bad weather.
But you don't want the
on
rain
that.
because
well, that's
the clay track is where it just gets washed out, right?
And you know, it's a wide open kind of place. You know what I mean? So it could be windy, it could be nasty, but if you get nice weather, no place in the world that you sit right on the track like at the Red Mile. Yeah. No place.
I've never been, so it'd be a great time to go.
You would love it. I'm telling you, it is unbelievable. It's if God built a harness track in heaven, that would be the place.
So there's a bunch of stakes, obviously, starting tomorrow, then Saturday and Sunday. We're going to highlight some of the ones coming up on Sunday. Here in the Alarage Open Trot, we see Logan Park is going to be down there. Periculum is into the mix as well. Who's not in there is Lexus Cody. I would assume that this was, you had to be eligible to it.
Now, will he be in the? Do you know if he's in the Breeders' Crown, Lexus Cody?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's eligible, but I mean, if not, I'm sure they'd supplement him.
It'd be nice to see him back up here.
I'm sure he'll be here. He's arguably the top trotter, right
I would
now. There's a pair of Tattersalls divisions. These over the years have been fun because sometimes they're sort of speed badge races, right? When you get these 3-year-old colts. Now, I would say the two divisions are vastly different. This is the first one with a field of 8, and believe me, these are some great colts in here. I'd love to own any one of them. Madden Oaks is going to be in there. Captain Optimistic.
Right.
I think he's coming off of a win. Banderas, if I'm not mistaken, this might be an Alanya one that I just saw listed on OnGate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it maybe even changed hands already. I'm not sure. But the other Tattersalls division, I mean, there's where you're going to see, Blueprint, Light Up the World, Prince Hell Hanover, I mean, Swingtown Poppy's Pistol, Fallout. I mean, look at that bunch.
Wow, yeah, that is a really, really salty bunch in there. Yeah.
I could see Blueprint getting some kind of record on him.
Is James going to be down there for
He's
Light
listed.
Up the World?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he's staying over. I can't speak for James,
right.
but I know he's there Saturday.
Right. I
think he's just staying over.
Good for him.
He's at least got this one to drive. Dougie's got some drives as well on the Sunday card. Then it is the 60th Kentucky Filly Futurity for the fillies. Now, who's not in here is Lasting Dream. She was eligible. I'm not sure why. Maybe something's amiss with her. Maybe, I'm not too sure. But our Duchess is going to be in there. A bunch of other great fillies as well will line up in that spot. They do have one going from the second tier and Champagne Problems in that spot. And then the Kentucky Futurity. Maryland's got the second tier. Modicon Legacy. I mean, as good as he's been, that's a tough task.
That is a really tough task. And on a mile track, at least here we got a bit of a run out to the first turn. Mile track, you're on it.
The first turn pretty quick, right?
You're on
like
it.
the Meadowlands.
Yeah, you're on it. You know what I mean? So
he can leave.
Oh, he can, but I got a feeling there's a few other ones in there that can leave pretty good too.
Well, I got a feeling he's going to be taking some air.
I got a feeling he's going to be taking some air too. But,
yeah.
Louis knows him real good, and hopefully he can, keep doing what he's doing down there.
He and Go Dog Go have both been sub 50 this year. But I mean, super chapter in there, Maryland. What a great time it'd be for him to come around.
It'd be interesting with Maryland there going on at the clay track. If there's any kind of foot soreness or anything like that, you would think that would, that would help improve his chances a little bit too. Because there's something with Maryland, just kind of like, in my opinion anyway, just kind of holding him back. He's a far deeper horse than what we're seeing right now, And that bothered me that day that he was up here. I can't remember which race it was, but he was in the 2-hole, and then he ended up making a break.
Chasing Omoticon Legacy?
Yeah, that's I don't think that that's a normal thing for Maryland.
All right. Well, you can tell with the clock. I got to jet upstairs. Have fun down here, buddy.
Thank you.
We'll leave you with the plays of the night. Good luck with all your wagers, everybody. First of 10 coming up in just a few.
Okay, let's go through some of these plays of the night. I'm going to start out with me there, and we're going to start off in race number 1, and that's going to be Mass Bar. She's going to be my beat the favorite. Then we're going to go to race number 4, and that's going to be Worth a Look for 4th Gear with the Rail and McDonald. In race number 5, I'm going to go all in tonight on Kama. I think that he's sitting on a good effort in here. And Waple's Watch is going to be I Love This Bar in race number 8. So that is the way that my plays are going to start out. Garnet going to start off in race 1 with White Blonde Hanover as a spot play. Right now, 10-1 morning line, but right now she's at 9-2. Captain Nathan in race number 4 for Kevin Plouch is going to be a spot play in there. And Ghislaine Paquette, Ray's Credit, nice one, Ghislaine, in race number 10, and he's got him listed as new team. And he is 100% sure he is a new team because he's going to be coming out of the Rene Barassa barn tonight, going from Michelle LeBlanc to Rene Barassa, and I got him in for second, so I hope you're right, Ghislaine. That is our plays of the night. So we got 0 minutes to post. We'll be back out on the track very, very soon. Stick around, and we'll be back.